Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. This movie was released in December 20, 1964. It features the first appearance by the Godzilla and his friends, most powerful foe in King Ghidorah, as he's later known in other films, and he's probably the most consistent and most used monster in the Toho cinematic universe. Because I just want to reiterate on that this was the cinematic universe before there was a cinematic universe, and what they did before, they actually had Godzilla and Rodan team up and Mothra to battle King Ghidorah, a much larger and more powerful threat in the film. They decided to, they had already released films before this, because Godzilla, of course, got his film in 1954, his standalone film, and Rodan in 1956, and Mothra in 1961. And this is actually King Ghidorah's first actual appearance. So the plot is pretty simple. He's from outer space. He comes from a galaxy unknown to us. But later in the next film after that, he's used by the Exilians from Planet X as their somewhat servant or monster to do their own dirty work. So in this movie, King Ghidorah comes in a comet that crashes into Earth, and of course Japan is quick to investigate to see to investigate the phenomenon, and of course he eventually morphs into probably the most awesome. This monster is one of three ways of awesome, because what's more cooler than a freaking huge dragon with three heads, two tails, massive wingspan, and lightning bolts spitting from his mouth? I mean, if that's not cool, I don't know what is. Because as far as kaijus are concerned, and there's actually many incarnations of this monster. And so up to this point, Godzilla and Rodan were bad guys still, and they decided to show up in Japan to continue to fight each other, test each other for supremacy. And Mothra is kind of like the peacemaker in this movie. She kind of just kind of in the background at first, trying to convince them. And there's a lot of this is the actual second film where you see a lot of comedy taking place, because there's a special scene where you see the twin fairies of Infant Island that are able to interpret monster talk, and there's probably one of my favorite scenes of all time where Godzilla actually cusses. It is suggestively said that he cusses, and they say, "Oh, Godzilla, what foul language!" And he does some odd gesture, and this is supposed to be a children's film, because up to this point you had with King Kong versus Godzilla, they're more of a lighthearted audience, and they were aimed more for children. But I have no clue what the executives at Toho were thinking when they. I mean, the rest is history. This movie's really probably one of the best movies in the franchise, and probably one of my absolute favorites from the original series and the Heisei series, if I got that right, or Showa. Sorry. And so Godzilla at first wants to beat up Rodan, and they're very childish. And what I like about Toho Kaiju is that they have more of a personality. They add more personal, almost human instincts to the creatures, because the creatures tell her that the humanity hates them. So they decide to team up to battle King Ghidorah. And of course, we're treated to, a bunch of men in rubber suits. And really, using rubber suits effectively is not the most easiest thing to do. And I think there's a lot of funny laugh out loud moments where King Ghidorah shoots Godzilla. It was supposed to be his backside, and then where he falls backwards because he's so big and massive. It's really funny. And then Mothra spits her cocoon at at Godzilla, and then Rodan laughs, and of course she shoots at him, and he starts to kind of keep his mouth shut after that. It's pretty funny. I mean, I really like this film a lot, and I really Rodan is probably one of my absolute favorite of kaiju as far as the allies that teamed up with Godzilla. So Godzilla, this is the actual first film where he becomes a hero, and it's really made known that, like I said, this film is the first of its kind, really, the absolute first. Before this was Gigantus the Fire Monster, of course, where you see Godzilla in the Versus series. But this was the first time where you see Godzilla as a hero and becomes an ally of humanity. And I want to just talk about a little bit about the actors on this movie. There's a lot of recognizable actors that came in later films, including Kasu Natasuki, who did also Godzilla versus the Sea Monster and a bunch of others, and probably one of my favorite actors from the original series, Hiroshi Kurozami, who plays Professor Marua, and Akio Wapashabi. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at pronouncing Japanese. Who plays the girl who's supposedly possessed by a Martian, and she's kind of seems like a case of insipid megalomania. So she's kind of like, looked at as a joke at first. And this stuff it might seem predictable to us now, but around this time, it was a new idea, really. And another actor that's really well known as well, it came out in a lot of the Showa and Heisei films, was Kenji Sarasawa. He's also very well known and by myself, one of my favorites, and one of my absolute favorite actors besides Turuka is Akio Hirata, who played the original Professor Zerazawa in the original film from 1954. So a lot of the actors on this movie, of course, you're not going to be able to tell if they're acting really well because the movie's dubbed. So the dialogue's absolutely laughable, and there's just a lot of laugh out loud moments. Okay, I'm gonna give this movie a 10.5. I'm gonna give it a plus because on the surface, yeah, it might seem amateurish, but a lot of people are not aware that this type of special effects were not a dime a dozen in the early 1960s. So we didn't get anything like that. Okay, tell me what you think about this video. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell me what do you want out of this vlog. And I'm really very sorry I haven't been doing a whole lot of videos lately. I've been off the radar once again because it's just my life is just drama. I got a life, so it's just a lot of drama going on, a lot of moving lately, and there's probably going to be more in the future. And I know I said videos back that I'm gonna upgrade my channel, and I will in the future. It's just that right now I really gotta take care of a lot of business in my personal life. But if you like this, comment on this video. Let me know what you want out of me. Like what reviews, maybe a parody or something like that. You want me to act out? I'll be happy to do it because this channel is interactive. Oh, and don't forget to press the bell for the notifications for my next video. Okay, I will see you guys real soon.